Donald Trump has now responded to reporting and Vice President Kamala Harris pointing out his exhaustion. We'll talk about what you're seeing on screen, which is Trump holding a little press conference outside of the plane, talking to reporters, getting very upset when one of the reporters asked him about that, and a little note I want to make about his hair. But first, I need to walk you through the context of what he'll be asked about. Vice President Kamala Harris came out and said this amid the discussion of Harris releasing her medical records, but Donald Trump not. And given the dedication to transparency presidential candidates should have, and Trump's age, it's notable that he's choosing not to be as transparent as Harris. He mocked her medical records for having allergies, but won't release his own. And reports are out, as we've also talked about, that he's canceling interviews because he's tired and exhausted. Harris will reference that here. Please do, while you're watching this clip, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're trying our best before the election to get to 1 million subscribers. Thank you all so much who are already subscribed.
It's good to be back. And again, we have a situation where the former president is insulting the people of the state, this time saying that auto workers, that their important and good and highly skilled work could be performed by a child, which is just further evidence that Donald Trump comes from a place where he really does not appreciate or understand how most people in our country work very hard for all that they have, and that there is great dignity in their work. In addition, I've been hearing reports that his team at least is saying he's suffering from exhaustion. And that's apparently the excuse for why he's not doing interviews. And of course, he's not doing the CNN town hall. He refuses to do another debate. And, look, being president of the United States is probably one of the hardest jobs in the world. And so we really do need to ask if he's exhausted being on the campaign trail. Is he fit to do the job? And I think that's a question that is an open-ended question that he needs to answer.
Now, of course, I find most interesting the medical record stuff, the signs of cognitive decline from him, and less interesting just reports that he's exhausted. Because even if you're my age with perfect health and you're campaigning for president, which you couldn't if you're my age, but you get the point, that's exhausting. It's exhausting to hold that many events. So I get being exhausted. The canceling interviews with CNBC, not doing the 60 Minutes interview, not wanting to do another debate, that is also a much more interesting point. And given his lack of transparency, I think it's important that she points this out and baits him into then shouting at reporters about this subject. Before getting to the clip that I'm referencing on that, here is some of the mockery that's been going on by the Kamala Harris campaign social media accounts.
I don't sleep that much.
Donald Trump has recently, we've seen he has canceled some interviews. A Trump advisor told the Shade Room producers that Trump was, quote, exhausted and refusing some interviews.
Can I ask you a really...
Hey, Dan, I got to get going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're going crazy.
All right.
Reports that he's falling asleep.
I see my people are going crazy over there.
Oh, that's it?
Time to go, right? Okay.
Okay. Oh, politics is something. Kamala HQ also posted this. An exhausted Trump appears to be falling asleep during his campaign event. And there's no audio for this, so I'll just narrate over it. There is Trump, as his eyes seem to shut. Shut they do. You know who. That's Donald Trump. That didn't rhyme. Dang it. That last part. You get it. He looks a little sleepy, and he looks pretty dilapidated and exhausted. So he walks out and has something to say when he's asked about this.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Joe.
It does look like, by the way, this is what cracks me up, that his hair, both on the front and the side, and I'll give you another angle in a second, just wish they could be anywhere but on top of his head. Just, let me fly away in this wind.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Joe. We're going to have a good tour today of Detroit and other places. I hear we're leading in Michigan. We're leading in Pennsylvania. I hear we're doing really well. Hello, how are you? Been a while. Look good. I hear we're doing very well in just about every location. I think we're doing...
Okay, you know what we should do? I want to address the substance as its whole own conversation. So let's just quickly get the silly, petty stuff out of the way and take a look. Some camera operator decided they were going to do Trump real dirty and try to find the most unflattering shot to take this interview from.
Mr. President, Kamala Harris. Sinwar Steph, the leader of Hamas.
Sinwar, the Hamas. My reaction is he was not a good person. That's my reaction.
It's truly a sight to see. Hair moving like that. It's all one. You gotta put a lot of product in there to have it levitate like that. And then, like I said, even with all that product, it's trying to stretch itself away. But we'll move on from that, get back to substance.
Well, my reaction is he was not a good person. That's my reaction. That's sometimes what happens.
How do you think this affects the border? Kamala Harris said she thinks you're exhausted. That's why you're canceling events. Are you exhausted?
What event did I cancel? I haven't canceled. She doesn't go to any events. She's a loser. She doesn't go to any events. She didn't even show up for the Catholics last night at the hotel. It was insulting. All they are is sound bites. So today I was at Fox and Friends at 7 in the morning. I then went to 2 different other appearances. I then made about 15 phone calls. I've gone 48 days now without arrest, and I've got that loser who doesn't have the energy of a rabbit. Let me tell you something. She should have been last night with the Catholics. So all they do is put out sound bites. Tell me when you've seen me take even a little bit of a risk. Not only am I'm not even tired. I'm really exhilarated. You know why? We're killing her in the polls because the American people don't want her. She didn't pass her bar exam. She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
Did you catch that, Jaden? I just saw something.
Bar exam. She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
So angry at Kamala Harris. He's frothing the mouth, spitting out of his mouth.
So I just want to let you know that very clearly. Go ahead.
Does the death of Sinwar make peace easier or more difficult?
Okay, so he's going to keep ranting about her later in this little impromptu press conference. Just one more time. Show the good people, Jaden. Yeah, that's a whole nother look at Donald Trump, I have to tell you. And I'm not making any judgments. One thing I do want to get to is before going back to the Trump press conference, in one of my rally appearances in talking to Trump supporters, that point about she couldn't pass the bar was addressed, and you'll see that after a few Kamala takes from Trump supporters. What do you think of Kamala Harris?
I don't know Kamala Harris. She's supposed to be taking care of our border and she didn't. And maybe someone needs to check her paperwork because from what the rumor tells me is she's not supposed to be running for an office.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Something to do with her parents and when she was born.
Even though she was born in Oakland?
You have to check the paperwork.
Don't know her.
You don't know Kamala Harris?
She don't really know stuff about what to do in the Capitol.
Kamala Harris is the new threat. She was always the threat. She was always using Joe as a puppet, and now what we need to do is get her out. She's clearly not fit to run for office, not even fit as vice president or any political position. Couldn't even pass the bar, couldn't pass anything. And what we need to do now...
She did pass the bar, but...
She did? Okay, Trump lied, did wrong. She was. Trump said she didn't.
Oh my gosh, that never gets old to me for some reason. Trump lied, I don't know what word he said. She did pass the bar, but...
She did? Okay, Trump lied, did wrong. She was.
Lies, you're wrong. Trump lies, you're wrong. At least he admits it immediately. That's nice. To be clear, she passed it on her second attempt. fine. Saying she couldn't pass the bar is inaccurate.
What we need to do now.
She did pass the bar, but
She did? Okay, Trump lied, did wrong. She was. Trump said she didn't. So.
I got you.
I don't see her stacking up against Trump, especially when she laughs at every single question that she's asked like a hyena, and she doesn't have that best wording with sentences even against Biden does. She's very first grade with the way that she speaks. Like, she calls a school bus yellow. We know it's yellow. I mean, she speaks like a first grader.
And Trump speaks more articulately.
Well,
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
What do you think?
Okay. So when Trump makes those points, she been pass the bar, she's not smart, rah! His supporters just take it at face value. They'll take this at face value.
Doesn't know what she's doing. This is a woman that doesn't have a clue. Frankly, I think they should put back Biden. And now, based on the numbers, I think I'm doing better against her than I am against Biden. So maybe Biden will go back. They'll do it a third time.
What does it mean to have a Democratic Muslim mayor endorse you here in Michigan?
Oh, it's an honor. I mean, frankly, it's an honor. I've got a lot of endorsements from Arab Americans, from a lot of people. So that's a great honor.
Do you think it'll move the needle for Arab Americans?
Well, I don't think they're going to be voting for her because she doesn't know what she's doing. So I don't see them voting for her. I don't see a lot of people voting for her. She's not a smart person.
Mr. President, will you release your health records?
Yeah. My health records, I've done 5 exams over the last 4 years. You've got them all. Obviously, I'm in the middle of a very big and very contentious fight. We're leading. I've given my health exams. I've also done cognitive tests twice, and I've aced them, meaning a perfect score. I want to see her do a cognitive test because she couldn't ace because she wasn't born smart. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. You guys, let's go. We got red wings, guys. Let's go.
And then there, waddling off, goes Donald Trump, saying she wasn't born smart. I don't know what... It has to be projection, right? Why is this what Trump's fixated on? Because surely people don't buy that, right? That's not compelling to people. I think more effective is she's radical left. I dispute her presidential campaign being anything but a pretty moderate campaign, but that works on people more. Or she's to blame for inflation, or she's to blame for the border. But she's not smart. Look at her career. There's just no way you would have climbed the ranks like that and been in some of the most important positions of power, like Attorney General of California, without the intelligence to do so. And I know, MAGA gets so upset when you point this out. There does seem to be a racial or gender undertone to this. Trying to play into people's biases about women leaders. And it just doesn't land. I ask any MAGA person, you're thinking, well, no, I'm not going to go watch a softball interview because she probably got the questions ahead. Go watch the Red Bear one and see. Watch the full thing. Not just the little clips that make you, feel good about the position you hold. And honestly, I don't know which clip you could take out that would look horrible, but go watch the full 26 minutes. See how you feel. See if Trump could ever talk that specifically about issues and policy and be that succinct. I have never seen it before from him. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Support the show. Get the bonus show by clicking the join button below.